how to use Helium 10 for Amazon product research. Hey guys, welcome back. In today's video, I'm going to walk you through a step-by-step guide on how to do effective product research on Amazon. So make sure to watch till the end and let's dive right in. So in this video, I'm going to dive into my screen and show you exactly which tools inside Helium 10 you should be using. That way, you can start researching smart, not hard, and take those first real steps into Amazon FBA. Also, with Helium 10, you can actually get 20% off for the first 6 months or 10% off every single month, whichever works best for you. So if you're planning to grab it, make sure you use a discount code. No reason to pay full price when you're just getting started. Save some money and put that towards your first product instead. Helium 10 isn't just for product research. Either you can also use it for keyword research, listing optimization, and even some ongoing maintenance for your Amazon business. It's super versatile. I use it every single day in my own Amazon FBA journey, so I can personally vouch for how useful it is. Alright, so once you've got your Helium 10 account set up, here's what you need to do next. Head over to the Chrome Web Store and download the Helium 10 Chrome extension. If you're not already using Google Chrome, now's the time to join the 21st century. Once you've got the extension installed, it'll show up right here in your browser. This tool allows you to analyze Amazon marketplaces in real time while you're browsing, giving you access to data like estimated sales, competition, and more, and I'm going to walk you through how to use that in just a second. Alright, now back inside Helium 10, I want to start with Black Box, which is the core tool you're going to use to really get the product research ball rolling. Black Box is basically your gateway to Amazon's entire catalog. It lets you filter through millions of products using specific criteria and helps you find those golden opportunities that are actually worth selling. At first glance, yeah, it might look like a bunch of filters, numbers, and drop-downs, but don't get overwhelmed. Once you start using it, you'll realize it's not that complicated. Honestly, a lot of the fields here are optional. You really only need to focus on a few key filters when you're getting started. This tool is designed to help you avoid the bad products, the ones with way too much competition or not enough demand, and instead find products that hit that sweet spot. Decent sales, low competition, and good margins. So right here inside Black Box, you'll see different search options. You can filter by products, keywords, competitors, niche, and product targeting. Today, I'm just going to walk you through a few of the basics enough to get you started and comfortable using the tool. Let's break it all down step by step so you can start finding your first potential product to sell on Amazon. Alright, so once we're inside Black Box under the Products tab, the first thing you're going to see is the Marketplace dropdown. For this tutorial, we're going to stick with Amazon.com, that's the marketplace. And honestly, I recommend most beginners start here. It's the biggest market, it has the most opportunity, and it's generally the easiest to break into when you're just getting started. Now below that, you'll see these filter presets. Personally, I don't use them. You can play around with them if you want. This whole process is really one big experiment. But I like doing things manually because it gives me more control and flexibility. Then we get into the category and subcategory section, and this is where you choose what types of products you actually want to sell. Some categories I like to explore include arts, crafts, and sewing, lots of evergreen, low-tech products. All of these are huge categories with consistent demand. Now, I personally avoid categories like toys and games, way too trend-based. Video games, hard to compete and full of licensing issues. Sports and outdoors, a lot of variation and seasonal stuff. And anything like clothing or shoes, which come with high return rates and sizing headaches. You can always toggle categories on and off depending on what you're looking for, but start with a few solid ones and go from there. If you've got some experience in a certain category, feel free to explore that. But just know these categories aren't the be-all and end-all. This is your product research journey, so don't be afraid to experiment and test things for yourself. Alright, moving down, let's talk about pricing. This is where things get real. So under price, I usually set a range from $13 to around $55. Sometimes I'll even go up to $60 or $70, but keep in mind the higher the price, the more expensive it'll be to source and the more capital you'll need upfront. Higher priced products can be great, but they're often more complex, more premium, and come with more risk when you're just getting started. So I like staying in that sweet spot where it's affordable to both the customer and to me as the seller. So let's keep going here when it comes to price. We want to go with something on the lower end, but not too low. If the price drops too much, Amazon's fixed fees can really eat into your margins. So that's something to watch out for. You'll notice sometimes values autofill weirdly, not sure why that happens, but no big deal. Just keep an eye on it. Now moving on to review count, this one's super important. So I usually set this between 15 to 450 reviews. Why? Because reviews are basically currency on Amazon. You don't want to go head to head with products that already have 5,000 or 10,000 reviews. That's just setting yourself up for a tough fight. Instead, target listings with lower review counts. That gives you a better shot to stand out as a new seller. For review rating, I'll often do something like 0 to 4.2 stars. That way, you're specifically finding products that customers already have issues with. That's your opportunity. You come in, improve the product, and offer a better version. Boom, that's how you win. Now, brand search, I usually leave that blank. Why? Because we're doing private label here. We're not looking for specific brands, we're just looking for opportunities, no matter who's selling. Especially for your first product, avoid competing with the Goliaths out there who've been in the game for years and really know what they're doing. You're just getting started, so give yourself room to learn and grow. Now for bestsellers rank BSR, I don't really mess with this too much. There are ways to play with it, and I'll show you some tricks with the Chrome extension later once we get deeper into live product pages. As for monthly sales units, I don't worry about this either. Why? Because we already set price and monthly revenue filters, and those two pretty much handle this for us. For example, if a product is priced at $55 and is making $16,000 a month, you can quickly figure out how many units that is. So there's no need to add another constraint if you've already got price and revenue locked in. But hey, if you want to mess with monthly units directly, you totally can. It's just not necessary with those other filters set. Now, shipping size, this one is a big deal. You really don't want your first product to be huge or heavy. Shipping costs will eat you alive, especially once you start factoring in Amazon's FBA fees and storage costs. So smaller, lighter items equal more profit and less stress. Also, just a heads up about FBA fees, that's what Amazon charges to fulfill and ship your product to the customer. These can get pretty high, especially if your product is big or bulky. Add in storage fees, and you're looking at a decent chunk of your margin getting eaten up. That's why we want to stick with sizes like small standard size, large standard size. You could maybe even go with small oversized, but just know that starts getting into stuff like washing machines, inflatable pools, and other big ticket items. Honestly, not worth it for your first product. You can also use the weight filter to control what size and cost you're dealing with, totally up to you. Now, a little tip here. The best sales month filter can help if you're into seasonal products. So if you're looking to launch something for Christmas, July 4th, or any holiday, this is where you can get creative. See which products are popping off in specific months and time your launch right. If my camera's in the way on your screen, my bad. Hopefully you can still follow along here. Next up, fulfillment. I don't touch this filter because I'm not afraid of competing with anyone. If a listing is FBM fulfilled by merchant, that's actually a plus since most people prefer FBA. Here's the difference. FBM, the seller ships it themselves. FBA, you send your inventory to Amazon and they handle everything: shipping, customer service, returns, etc. I highly recommend going FBA, especially if you want to scale and keep things hands-off. As for the Amazon seller filter, I ignore it. Just because Amazon sells a product doesn't mean you can't do it better. Don't limit yourself. Sales to review ratio, don't worry about that just yet. Same with number of images and title keywords. we can get into that later once you've got the basics down. So once all your filters are set, just hit that little search button and boom, black box will pull up everything that fits your criteria. So once black box pulls up the results, it searched all of Amazon based on the filters we just set. Right off the bat, you'll also see a photo of each product, which makes it super easy to get a quick idea of what it actually is. Now, if you want to check it out more closely, just click the little Amazon icon button next to it. That'll open the actual listing right on Amazon so you can see everything in real time. Here's where it gets fun. I like to open up Amazon directly, go to all departments, and type in something like dog toys just to start browsing organically. Once you're on a results page, fire up the Helium 10 Chrome extension and use the X-ray tool. That tool gives you live data, how many sales each product is doing, the number of reviews, estimated revenue, all of it. It might take a few seconds to load because Amazon is massive, but once it does, you'll see products making, and then you'll notice a few that say not available. Don't worry about those. Helium 10 pulls estimates based on algorithms, and sometimes there are gaps in the data. That's totally normal with software trying to track millions of products. The key is to work with what you do have and start spotting patterns. You'll get better and faster the more you play around with it. So, as we scroll through, you'll notice some of the products have SP next to them that stands for sponsored. Basically, these sellers are paying to get their products shown at the top of the page. You'll see sponsored labels popping up here, here, and here. But what I really care about are the organic listings, those that don't say sponsored. These are the products Amazon's algorithm thinks are the best for that keyword. They are the top sellers with the most reviews and the highest performance. Sponsored products can be a bit biased since they're paying to show up there, while reviews and organic rankings are more about actual performance. Once you get into selling your own product, sponsored listings will definitely be something to look into for driving your first traffic, but for now, focus on those organic rankings. You'll want to keep an eye on these. Now, with the Helium 10 Chrome extension, you can click into individual products like this one here. This gives you a deeper dive, see product variations, different types of toys, and even get access to things like all-time sales charts to track performance over time. When it comes to BSR bestseller rank, don't stress too much about it. There's a lot going on, and I've got plenty of videos diving deeper into BSR if you want to explore it more. For now, let's just get the basics down so you can start the process without getting overwhelmed with hours of content. One useful tool here is the profitability calculator. This allows you to input product costs, shipping fees, and Amazon's fees to estimate your potential profit. For example, you might see something like $4 per unit, which is a great insight as you look at your product options. The key here is consistency. Keep going through product ideas and remember, it's a process. Especially when you're just starting out, it takes time. But don't get discouraged. Come back every day, create a list of products that catch your eye, and continue down the rabbit hole. Now, let's talk about keywords. The keyword tab is one of my favorite tools for product research. You can search by long-tail keywords, which can be a game changer. For example, the keyword dog toys is one people are searching for on Amazon. When you use this tool in Black Box, you can discover related keywords people are searching for. Let's say we're targeting keywords that have between 500 to 4,000 searches per month. You can set the revenue range from $4,000 to $16,000 to keep things realistic. Then, you can apply the same review count filter 15 to 450 reviews and review rating filter 0 to 4.2 stars to refine your search. You'll start noticing patterns in the data, which helps narrow down the types of products you should focus on. Word count plays a crucial role when selecting long-tail keywords. You don't want to go for overly broad terms like chair or toy. Instead, aim for phrases that have at least 30 words. This will help you target more specific niche markets. As you move further into these keywords, they'll become more niche. And that's exactly where you want to start, in a smaller sub-niche where you can carve out your space, get a few sales, and build up. Once you've gained some traction, you can expand into larger niches. For word count, aim for a minimum of 3 words in the phrase to ensure you're targeting a specific search intent. Similarly, categories should be broad enough to allow flexibility but specific enough to stand out. Examples include arts and crafts, baby, office products, patio and lawn, pet supplies and tools, and home improvement. Now, let's dive into shipping size. Once you hit search, you'll be presented with a list of keywords related to your search. For example, a keyword like kids pottery wheel stands out. You can click on it to explore the niche further on Amazon. This helps you understand the general demand and competition in that category. From there, you can use Helium 10 to view product sales and gather more data. For instance, you might see products with sales of $52,000, $84,000, and so on. This indicates that the niche is in high demand, but also more competitive than you might prefer for your first product. However, further exploration can reveal opportunities to niche down even more. You can dive into product reviews to understand customer pain points. For instance, a 4.1 star product rating may indicate some issues worth addressing. By reading 1-star reviews, you can learn exactly what's wrong with the product. For example, some customers complained about a weak torque on the pottery wheel, while others reported receiving used items. These insights are valuable because they offer opportunities to improve the product you're considering selling. When analyzing a product, it's helpful to look for areas of improvement and get a deeper understanding of what customers are looking for. By studying reviews and pain points, you can identify opportunities to niche down and offer a product that better meets the needs of your target audience. For example, if you're interested in the kids' pottery wheel, you can explore related keywords to get a better idea of other niches. Tools like Helium 10 help by showing you products similar to the one you're considering. To narrow it down even further, you can use the magnet keyword tool on Helium 10. Here's how you can do that. Go to the dashboard and select the magnet keyword tool. Paste wheel into the search bar and apply filters for search volume, aiming for 500 to 4,000 searches per month and a minimum of 3 words in the phrase. After applying the filters, you'll see a list of related keywords and their search volume. This gives you real-time demand data showing you what people are searching for on Amazon. If you find that a keyword has a high number of searches but low competition, that's a sign of a potential niche opportunity. This presents an opportunity for you to come up with a better product that fills the gap in this niche and potentially capture market share by offering something improved. This is where you start to get into the specifics of analyzing products. When you find a mini pottery wheel with low ratings like 3.8 out of 5 stars, despite being priced higher, it signals an opportunity. This could mean customers are dissatisfied with certain aspects of the product, and there's room for improvement, such as offering a better design or additional features. The key is to identify these products where customer feedback highlights weaknesses. With this insight, you can create a better product, target a niche market, and stand out from the competition. This process requires patience, constantly coming back, refining your product list, and weighing the pros and cons of each idea. Now, let's dive into one more thing that can be useful for making your final decision on a product. That's a great way to wrap up your product research video. Here's a summary of how it works. Focus on customer feedback. Look for products with low reviews, identify pain points, and use them as opportunities to create a better product. Use Helium 10. It helps you find valuable insights on sales data, reviews, and demand, making your research more effective. Stay consistent. Keep coming back to refine your product list and niche down for success. Thanks for sharing this approach. If you need further assistance or tips on product research or video content, feel free to ask. That's all for today's product research guide. I hope you found it helpful in identifying opportunities to dive into the Amazon marketplace. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button to stay updated on more in-depth research strategies and tips. If you're ready to take your product research to the next level, check out the discount link for Helium 10 in the description below. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.